Today's video is going to be talking about these things on my board, why I use them, and if you're a freestyler, why you should use them. And the reason I have the skid plates on my setup is to protect my board from tricks where I will be scraping my nose and tail along the floor, or maybe jamming it into the floor, for instance like a pogo or a truck stand. The reason why it's so important to protect the board that you're skating is because it's really hard to get your hands on new equipment, especially if you don't have a lot of money. So as younger skaters especially, it's really important that you maintain and keep care of the board that you're skating. You don't want to go around like smacking it into walls. You don't want to be putting all your force into it. Especially you want to do everything you can to protect your board from the tricks that you're doing quite often. The reason these help with tricks where I'm sliding my tail and nose across the floor is quite obviously gives it like that little barrier. So they're not going like complete ground to wood contact, it's going straight onto the plastic. Gives your kind of nose and tail a bit of a longer lifetime. And they're also a bit smoother, meaning that when you're sliding your tricks, it'll be easy for you. Another really helpful thing about having these when I'm doing my sliding tricks is so that when I'm sliding across the ground and not making the wood to ground contact, I don't end up with what's called razor tail. Razor tail is where you're sliding your board across the ground constantly and constantly and constantly, and it wears it thinner and thinner and thinner. You can kind of see it happening to my skid plate now, but if it wasn't here, this would be happening to the board. Now, normal skateboarders, razor tails are a bit of an issue, but it's not too bad for them, seeing as they're not really doing many tricks that depend on bouncing on the nose and tail of their board. However, as freestylers, it's really bad for you. Now, the reason that razor tail really sucks when you're doing pogo tricks is that if you're slamming all of your weight, so you're standing on your truck and all your weight is going through this exact little point on the end of your board, a really thin point, all the weight is focused to that single point and it will snap and chip really easily. Whereas if you have skid plates, the plastic goes through the wood and is connected by these screws. What these screws do is it kind of, as well as keeping the skid plate on, it compacts the layers of the plies together so they don't splinter and chip away as easy. This means that when you're doing your pogos, you also have a bit of a fatter surface, so all your weight is spread out more evenly and doesn't put as much pressure on one single spot. This means that your board, your nose and tail, the lifespan is going to last a lot longer, but it's not going to be forever. As proven by the trick I was trying to do earlier. Now, the reason this trick completely screwed my board over is because as I was doing the trick, this came out of my board. This screw belongs in here, attaching my skid plate to my board. But as you can see, it isn't doing that anymore, so fuck it. Now, what happened because the screw came out is my rear skid plate came loose and allowed all the compressed wood that's been piling up over the time I've been using this board to have complete contact with the ground and has ended up splitting my tail quite a bit, which is why I think it's very important for all freestylers, or all major freestylers who are just going to skate freestyle, to have skid plates on your board just to make sure they last a bit longer, and the tricks that you're probably going to be doing a lot of, such as footwork, pogos, all that kind of stuff, doesn't really like destroy your board and you can use it for longer. Speaking of getting new boards, I'm going to need a new one, seeing as this tail is kind of fucked. If you have any suggestions on boards that might be fun to skate in the future, please message me, let me know. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to go buy another one of these because it's good shape. Well, as the sun's come back out, here is my last session on this board. And so yeah, see you in the next one.